I think I've always kind of wrote poetry, always tried to write poetry anyway, for sure. I remember when I went to Glasgow Uni, I was at Glasgow Uni for a year, and I did the English Lit class in Glasgow Uni, and we had to get a big poetry book, we had to get a big massive poetry collection. Yes, Alan, I'm just telling them about my poetry right now. It's my daughter's here in the room. I had a big giant poetry collection. That was the kind of the first time it was like going through that big giant poetry collection. I was kind of like, you know, that was where I kind of really fell for poetry, you know what I mean? Without ever really getting heavily into it. I'm not a person that's got a huge collection of poetry books or anything like that, you know what I mean? But I think it's more, as a comedy writer, I could see the similarities between, I think poetry and comedy fly quite close to each other. I think that's the thing, because I think the way you know, when you write a poem and then you redraft it, you're working with the structure of it and stuff like that. And it's the same way we're writing comedy as well, you know what I mean? We're writing a joke. You can come up with a funny joke, and then you can surprise yourself by how altering the structure of that and playing about with the structure of that can improve the joke, you know what I mean? And I kind of feel I get the same kick out of doing poetry as I get for writing comedy stuff. I think when you're a writer, certainly when you start writing for a very young age, then family is always important to your writing, because you need that support around you. You know, I was always quite well supported in my writing by my parents and my family. There was never really anybody in my ear saying get a proper job and stuff like that. Everybody was kind of like, how's the writing going, which is very fortunate. I think a lot of people you know, really struggle with that kind of thing, but I was always really well supported. And so and also I think just coming from quite a big family as well, you end up surrounded by stories and you're surrounded by different characters and stuff like that, and I think that always feeds into writing. I did some of the poems for the book live quite a while ago, about a year and a half ago, and I was just, I quite like to, in my career, try and take odd left turns here and there into different things. I just like to try different stuff, and I just thought I'm going to focus on poetry this year. I'm going to perform live poetry. And people were like saying, oh, I see you're doing a show, and is it really poetry? Are you kidding on? And I was like, no, it's really poetry. And people were like, I'll come and see it. It will not really be poetry, but it was a poetry show. But I mean, it's really neat. I mean, I think in a sense, you know, you go and do stand up in front of an audience, and usually an audience that comes to see you doing stand up or comedy are there expecting something, and so they're up for it and they go along with it. And I think with poetry, the cool thing about poetry is that you're always, you know, from piece to piece, you're having to win people over to an idea or to a concept. So I find it really, really great fun doing poetry stuff. And really with the book, I just wanted to, once I'd done the stuff live and I knew which ones worked and stuff like that, I was like, well, I'd like to just, you know, collect it all together and, you know, be able to kind of have it on my own shelf, and hopefully, you know, have other people have it on their shelves as well. It's weird, it's like the way I collected the book, even the kind of prose introductions I kind of approached, and I kind of see that as part of the poetry of the whole thing as well. I was trying to play around with that stuff, and I just kind of wanted it to be able to read like a complete thing. Poetry books are great to dip in and out of and finding your favourite poems and stuff like that, but I think it's also nice if you can sit and you can read a full poetry collection, and it has a sense of completeness as well, you know. And I wanted to kind of get that, and I always like it, you know. I always like it when a writer speaks directly to you as well. I'm always quite a fan of that stuff. That probably comes face, you know, some of the first books I read were Stephen King books when I was a wee guy, and he would always have, like, you know, little introductions and afterwards where he would speak directly to you as the reader, and I think that I just find it a kind of warm, inviting thing. And I'm hoping that a lot of people who don't normally buy poetry books as well will buy this one, and it's also, you know, it's also a way to kind of just ease them in a wee bit, you know, no freak them out too much, you know, just by jumping from poem to poem. I think people who ordinarily would have liked my stuff on the telly will probably like it. I'm hoping, and having done it live, I kind of feel like they will like it. But I'm also hoping that more people take a look at it as well. I'm happy to take my punches and my lumps for the proper poetry critics as well. You know what I mean? Because I'm happy to take all that, because it's you know, genuinely there's a real joy in writing a poem. There's a real kind of it's it's that weird thing with poetry sometimes that you kind of feel like you're protected a wee bit from criticism to an extent, because you've kind of already got out of it what you wanted to get out of it once you've written and completed the poem, if you know what I mean. So it's no so much, I'm not too concerned. I'm happy to just see what people think and see what people say. So I'm hoping like a lot of people try it, give it a try. Poetry is a thing. It's not a thing I will have dabbled in for a year or two. I'll keep hopefully releasing poetry stuff, because there's just an endless. I just never shut up. So there's an endless amount of things I want to talk about, and I just think it's a nice record of where you are as well as a person, really, And even between performing it live and, yes, I'm talking about the poetry book that I'll read you when you're 15 or 16 or something, and you'll be sick of hearing about it. No, but I think I'll keep writing them, because I think I need to. Do you like you? She doesn't know anything about poems yet. She will. I'm Florence, and Poetry and Swearing Vol.1, which is my first poetry collection. It's beautifully pink. It's an iconic book. You should really get it, so you can see you were there when it was first released. Before, I'm trying to sell my book. Daddy is trying to sell a book here. All right. It's for your sake as well. Buy my book.